Hi, I'm Eleanor and I'm on nature staff, and I wanted to share some of the amazing things that you can find outside when you take the time to explore. Even if you don't have access to a park, there's as much to discover in a square foot of earth as if you were to travel the world. I was just doing a bit of exploring and I heard some bird calls and what sounded like a mourning dove, so I'm going to show you how to call back to the birds. Alright, I was just out here and I heard some birds calling, including some mourning doves, so I wanted to teach you guys how you can do some bird calls. So here's a demonstration of how to do it. And the way I do that is I take one hand and have it like this and place my other so the end of my hand is running across where my knuckles would be. So I place like that and curve it over and put it together, and you put your lips pretty much where your knuckles are. And then you just go for it. It takes some practice, and it took me about 2 weeks of nonstop trying to get it, but it's pretty fun once you get it. I'm exploring around this creek, and while it can be tempting to go out there where the water is deep, I found the most life that you'll be able to find is right where the water meets the land. And there'll be a lot more things that you can interact with more closely and find more easily. I don't know if you can see all those little fish down there. Cute. Carter found an American toad. He's a little smaller than they tend to be, and the males tend to be smaller than the females, but he might get a little bit bigger. So cute. Oh! I just found a really cool and easy to identify tree that grows near water, so I wanted to show it off. So that up there is a sycamore. So you can see that the bark falls off the tree and makes it look a little white where it is. You can remember it because it's like the tree's sycamore. And then you'll often find the bark on the ground near it, and it grows a lot near the water. And I like to use the bark, especially when I was younger. I'd make little boats out of it. And one time I made a boat and was floating it down the stream, and a little salamander came up and got on top of it and rode on it for a little while. It was really cute. There's the sycamore bark. So it floats pretty well. There's some whirligigs swirling around over there. And if you can see the little beetles. To show off some whirligig beetles. They're a little hard to see right now, but there's a bunch of little barred swallows up there. Just like a lot of the ones we have at camp down by the lake. I'm out camping tonight and I'm teaching my family how to do a one-match fire. So here's our one-match fire right here. So I'm out camping and you can see all the fireflies. You can tell a lot of firefly species apart by the color of the flash, the speed of the flash, and the pattern of the flash. And they'll even mock the patterns of other species on occasion. I don't know what kind of fireflies these are, but they're really beautiful to watch. Alright, I want to show you guys one of my favorite bugs to catch at camp. This is a katydid. So there's lots of different kinds of katydids. You've probably seen the ones that are like the shield-back katydids that have a long thing coming off the back, and they're kind of like more of the browns. And then you've got these ones that look a lot more like leaves. They're often called leaf bugs at camp, but there's a lot of bugs that are commonly called leaf bugs. So katydids allows you to be more accurate of what you're talking about. But these guys are pretty cool. There's even pink ones in the world. And they make a cool little barking noise sometimes if you gently poke them. But you can usually hear them singing in the trees. But yeah, it's a little friend. So it's really fun getting to interact with nature, and I think interacting with nature gives us a connection to it that drives us to want to protect the world that we live in and protect the habitat of these guys and their kind. But while it is fun to play with them, it's also important that we're looking after them. We're not being too rough with them, and we put them back where we found them. So just like this guy is giving us a really cool opportunity to look at him, we want to make sure we let him go and let him have a pretty good life. So I'm gonna let him fly away now.